What's going on, everyone? Hope you're having a good day. So we're sitting in the 2020 TRD Pro Sequoia, and as I've been driving this, I've really been missing a few things here and there from the old dash layout. So if you don't know this, the Sequoia has the 07 to 13 Tundra dash layout, and I still think there are a lot of things in this layout that are modern and up to date, if you will. So what we're going to do is I want to go over the dash layout in here and the dash layout in the 2020 TRD Pro Tundra and kind of show you what I would keep and what I would get rid of in each to make what I would consider the perfect dash layout for what we have available. So I'm not going to start dreaming on things I would like different, but I basically would take the two dashes and put them together and see what we come out with. So we'll go over each of them, some likes and dislikes, and go from there. Okay, so some things I like from the 14 and up dash layout first. I love the new 18 and up gauge cluster. I think it looks great. It has a little bit of old school to it, but it is pretty modern, and the center screen gives you a lot of information, a lot more than they used to for sure. So this whole layout is really nice, and this is 18 and up, came with Toyota Safety Sense. There is one that's 14 to 17, that's not that bad either, but I really like this layout a little bit more. So when you come across the dashboard, one thing, depends on the trim you get, of course, too. One thing you'll see is there is a lot of different colors going on. Now, if you have something like a Limited, or if you have something like a 1794, this right here, which is like a dark silver, or maybe like a dark gray, you would get like a wood grain color. Now in the Limited, it's more of a darker wood grain. In the 1794, it's a really bright wood grain. So you'll have that going on, and you'll have this is like the seat leather almost they have going on up here. So in the 1794, that would be like that tan / orange color that's on the seats and everything. So in certain trims, there's a lot of colors going on. So in this TRD Pro, you got a little bit of red stitching there. You got silver, you got black. You got one glove box, and then you come here and you got big silver sides around the infotainment system going on. When you come down here, there is a lot of space for drinks and things like that, but at the end of the day, I got to be honest with you, you really run out of space quick down here, and any owner will tell you that. You put a couple drinks, this helps a little bit, but when you start getting, you know, if you have a wife or whatever you got going on, you know, we have two different plugs going in for our phones. You know, the keys go somewhere too. Thank God in the 14 and up, they have this set up right here, because in the 07 to 13s, they didn't even have this. It was just a center console. But you got to be real strategic in how you use your space down here. All right, so some things I don't necessarily care about in the current gen dashboard layout. So number one, we have all this chrome down here, which you can see the sun is actually shining off of a lot right now. That glare is what a lot of people complain about. So a lot of times when I drive, you could do that. AJT Designs and Tough Skins, I believe, also come with different options you could use to black this all out down here. But from the factory, I'm thinking this should all be blacked out. So down here, you got a lot of chrome going on, so you get a lot of glare issues. And we just spoke about how the space is good, but, you know, leaves a little bit left to be desired, we could say. Coming up here, I don't really like these at all. I'll be honest with you. I'm not a real big fan of the circle vents either. I don't know why, don't get me wrong, I just don't really care for them, especially this silver. If this was black, I think it would make a lot more sense, and it would go with a lot more trims. That's one of the things. Now this little pad up here that I usually keep my sunglasses on, I've never had great success with it, I'll be honest with you. Things usually slide around, but I guess it's better than nothing. A lot of people will put their Easy Pass up here. That's probably a great thing for that, but at the end of the day, I don't really care for that pad. Things do tend to slide around quite a bit. I guess I could put like a no slide pad up there and it would be a little bit better. Same thing when it comes to the steering wheel. This silver, if it was blacked out, would be a lot better. I will say this, the best part of this dash is right here, the infotainment center, okay? So you got the big 8-inch screen nowadays. I mean, the buttons are easy to hit, so you have some options. You could obviously do the touchscreen, or you could go the physical button way. The climate control is very easy to use. I don't think it looks outdated at all, but you know, like I said, maybe they could basically make this all black. That would make the big difference right here. But as far as functionality, it's very easy to use, and I really do like the 8-inch screen. Other than that, you know, at the end of the day, I think that's pretty cool. It does go with the theme of the truck. But like we were talking about with the 1794, to have the silver, the wood grain, and then the tan / orange color going on up here, you could find yourself with a lot of different color splash going on. Okay, so this is obviously the 2020 Sequoia, and we're talking about the 07 to 13 dash layout. And don't get me wrong, there are some minor upgrades that weren't on the 07 to 13, so bear with me on this. But there is a lot of 07 to 13 DNA in here that I want to go over. The first great thing about this dash layout is, look, everything is blacked out. Everything, all the trim pieces, everything is blacked out. So at the end of the day, this is what I would like to see in the current gen also. It just has a really good look to it. It seems like everything really goes together. Down here, what we were just talking about in the other truck, you know, you don't have any chrome pieces really. And for some reason, and correct me if I'm wrong, comment below, I feel like this area for the 07 to 13s is a lot more functional than what we had in the 14 and up over there. This right here actually comes out, so you can use that for, you know, files or your phone or whatever down there, so you get a little extra space there if you want. But I never really seem to have problems in my 07 to 13 with, you know, any space on this. With the one that's in the 14 and up, like I said, you got to be kind of strategic. But at the end of the day, there's no chrome on here at all down here, and this whole layout that's in the the 14 and up has chrome going on, and there's chrome going on up here, and this is all blacked out, which looks really good. I also really like the square vents. I think they look a lot better. Maybe that's just me. Like I said, comment below and let me know. The square vents just have a nice look to it, so I'm a big fan of that. Also in the 07 to 13, there's way more storage going on. So you have your glove box, and then you have your other glove box there. And even on the door, you have little, I guess you could put change or whatever in there, so you get an option there. Not a lot of silver going on at all. You got a little silver over there, silver on the knobs and everything like that. Up here is just a big speaker. You don't have that tray at all, so I guess that, you know, take it or leave it there. Now, in the old 07 to 13, also up here, this is basically the setup that's in the 14 and up as well. But in the 07 to 13s, if you didn't have the moonroof, you got a lot of storage going on up here too. So there was definitely a lot more storage in 07 to 13. As far as the things that I don't like in the 07 to 13, I don't necessarily care for the center stack here as far as the infotainment and the climate control. I don't really like the look of them. So the 14 and up definitely looks a lot better when it comes to this stuff right here. I also don't care for the 07 to 13 gauge cluster. Now this is a little bit of an updated one because this is a 2020 Sequoia, but in the 07 to 13, it's basically all of the gauges are down little tunnels. I wasn't a fan of that at all. So, you know, the 14 and up is definitely going to win on the gauge cluster for me. And as far as the steering wheel, this is the same thing that's in the 14 and up. The 07 to 13 was a little bit different of a steering wheel, but I do love that there are black accenting on everything in this interior. So at the end of the day, there's a lot I would do with both interiors for sure, but I would take a lot more from this interior than the current one. I would take a lot more out of the 07 to 13 dash and put it into the modern truck. I don't really like the circle vents too much. I like the fact that everything in this layout, as far as the Sequoia TRD Pro, is all blacked out. Everything flows really nicely together. There's not a lot of color splash going on. So the square vents for sure, and the lack of chrome in here is the thing that I really, really like. As far as the 14 and up, I love the gauge cluster in it. I love the infotainment center. I love the climate control. So if you put those together, I think you could have something really awesome. Don't get me wrong. So a lot of people will say this, so I'll cover it right now, is that both layouts are probably a little outdated, and that might be. But I feel like this is more of a basic than an outdated. And at the end of the day, it's not that bad in here. It's just kind of plain, but plain is better than 16 different colors on the dash. I also love the fact that there's way more storage in the 07 to 13s. You know, you got the two glove boxes. The center console is the same, but I feel like down by the shifter, there's a lot more space to put stuff, but that's just me. So you got to comment below and let me know what you think. Do you like the 07 to 13 dash layout better? Do you like the 14 and up better? And do you like what I did with the combo of both? Also, let me know what you would do if you had both dash layouts in your hands. What would you do for a combo? What would you get rid of? What would you keep? Let me know in the comments below. Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook at Tundra234, Tundra234gmail.com. You guys have a great day. Talk to you soon. Be safe.